Okay, welcome back to Things Dad Should Know. So today is a weekend, it's Saturday morning, and we're going to make some raisin bread, which is one of the favourite things we have over a weekend. I'm going to take you through how to do this, and I'll be making it in the Breville. They call it the Breville Custom Loaf, and we'll go through all the ingredients that are going to go into it, and I'll put a link in the bottom with all the ingredients that I do and how I actually cook it inside this. The Breville itself comes with a fantastic manual with lots of recipes in it that can help you, everything from gluten-free bread to standard bread to sweet bread. This recipe is one that I've found on the web, but I've actually modified it a few times as I've gone through, just to get it the way I like it, so it's really moist and has a lot of raisins and a lot of cinnamon in it. So, hope you like it, stick with me, we'll go through and make it. Ingredients today, I actually use both golden and normal raisins, some ground cinnamon, bread machine yeast. Bread improver is optional, but I find it makes a little bit of difference. Some butter, I think it's one and a third tablespoons of butter. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and there's my 1.5 cups of my mixed raisins. And then I'm going to use real salt, and I'm going to use organic bread flour to do this. And there's my milk, which is about, I think it's 1 1/8 cup, or around about 260 mils. Simply put, inside here is a little bread pan, and then there is a paddle. And you make sure the paddle is up before you start it. Put your bread pan in. I always start with the dried ingredients first. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in 3 cups of bread flour. This is a 1.5 cup. 1.5 cup. I'm just going to spin around a bit because I usually make a mess. Put it in. My 1.5 cups. At the bottom. And then I'm going to add in another 1.5 cups. Now, if I'm cooking this straight away, so it doesn't matter too much, but if I was to cook this and put it on a delay start, you would put the milk in first and then put the bread on top, and that keeps the yeast dry. You need to keep the yeast dry until it's ready to go. Get our bread flour in. I'm going to add the milk. I'll put it on the side. Inside there, you'll see I've left a little island of flour. And on top of that island is where I'm going to put a lot of the dried ingredients. The first of the ingredients that's going to go in is going to be the sugar. So I have 2 tablespoons of packed brown sugar. That will help the yeast to rise. I have 1 1/3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm using the Irish butter, I just think it tastes nice. And then what I'm going to do is put in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. There's 2. And then we're going to add the raisins. Now what I do with the raisins, the Breville has a device at the back here that allows you to be able to put fruit in so it mixes it later on in the actual mixing process. So I'm going to lock that in, close that up. Now it only takes about 1/2 cup of raisins in here. That's all it will fit. So I put it in as much as I can with a later feed. Close it up, open this back up, and I'll pour the rest in through here. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the salt. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of salt. I use real salt. It's ancient and it's mine salt versus sea salt. Mined out of Utah, I believe. I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of bread improver. And I'm going to put in, last of all, is the yeast. I'm going to add in the yeast. I'll put in 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. I'm going to put that little thing on the top that I was telling you about, so it just sits on top until it's fully mixed in. There's 1/2. There's 1. Now, the recipe specifically states, do not use active dry yeast. Use bread machine yeast when you do this. Okay, so I put all the ingredients in. So now what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to go down and select the sweet bread setting. I'm selecting the 1.5 pound, so the 3 cups that I just put in is for the 1.5 pound. It says it's going to take 3 hours and 22 minutes. I press the start. And what it will do is, I'll lift this up and you can see it, it'll start to mix all the ingredients together. And it will do that for 5 or 10 minutes until all the ingredients are together. I do tend to come back and keep an eye on it because sometimes I find the dough sticks to the sides, and I just use a little spatula to push it off. So we'll come back in a couple of minutes and have a look. Alright, so I'm just using a rubber spatula. Never use anything metal in these because they're actually non-stick. Okay, so it's done. Let's go and have a look and see what we've got. One beautiful raisin loaf, ready to go. Okay, so it's been in there for a while. It's actually been on a cool cycle, so I can lift it out with my hand. Normally you couldn't do that. Normally it's too hot. What we're going to do, grab my towel, turn this upside down, and there we go. Out comes the raisin loaf. Next thing to do is to clean this. I don't never put them into the dishwasher, clean them by hand. I usually just get a little bit of detergent, put a little bit of detergent in there, and then fill it with hot water, and then let it soak for an hour or so. And what you'll find is the paddle's pretty much stuck on there because it's got dough caught inside and it's heated up the dough. Let it sit in there with hot water for about an hour, and then you should be able to just pull it straight out. Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.